We're going on a field trip. We're at Martin's Meats and Deli in Bakersfield with Audrey Chavez, and she is Bakersfield's angel. Okay, so Audrey is her and her husband own Martin's Meats and Deli, and one of the things that I love about this place is that they give away a suspended sandwich to the homeless. Somebody comes in and buys food, and they pay for a suspended sandwich that goes to the homeless.
Yes.
And I just think that's the most awesome thing in the world. And the wings behind her, whenever somebody donates, she takes a picture of them with the wings, because they're angels to you. Absolutely. And I've always referred to you as Bakersfield's Mother Teresa.
That's a pretty big, Mother Teresa is amazing.
Yeah,
but yes,
well, you're
is
amazing.
Someone who's definitely inspiring and someone who has inspired me very much.
Yeah.
So, yes.
And also you run Ricky's Retreat, which is Bakersfield AIDS Project.
Yes.
Which, you know, is, I have AIDS, so that's near and dear to my heart. And did you want to talk about that? Yeah,
you know, Bakersfield AIDS Project is one of our nonprofit organizations. Next year we'll be 25 years old. We're just about 25 years old in December. So we're very, very excited to be able to have been committed to the cause for so long. More importantly than the cause are the people. You know, AIDS has always been about the humanity behind the statistics, and every number that shows up as a statistic is a loved one who is living with the virus, or also those who have passed away from AIDS, and or those who are affected. And I am one of the affected because my brother Ricky was diagnosed with AIDS in 1990, and he passed away from all of the opportunistic infections that affected him. He passed away from AIDS in December of '92. And so AIDS has always been about people. It's always been about a compassionate response, and it's always about making a difference. And when he passed away, he donated his house to, which is why it's called Ricky's Retreat. And I think that's wonderful. Well, Ricky's Retreat was actually as a result of so many people in the community having passed away from AIDS. You know, we started in 1992. I thought that was his house. The clients are actually the people who named the home after Ricky. Oh. I want to say I believe it was in 1995, there was a young woman who was dying of AIDS, and she was here at Memorial Hospital, and she begged me to take her home. Her name was Ray Lynn. And, you know, Ricky passed away in 1992, and over the years from 92 to 95, there were numerous people who had passed away from the virus. And so often, when looking for placement for our people with AIDS, especially in their end stages, when we say end stages, that's kind of a term that we don't use so much today because of all of the treatment that's available, but people who were in their hospice stages, they were constantly being turned away from our skilled nursing facilities, from the convalescent homes, because they didn't want to deal with people who had this virus, who had AIDS. And so even though they had beds, even though they may have been on Medi-Cal, even though they had the need, they were often discriminated against and turned away.
Yeah, people were terrified to even sip out of the same cup or use the same fork.
Right, absolutely, and we've seen that. I know when Ricky was in the hospital, there were a lot of people there on the 3rd floor at Kern Medical Center who people wouldn't even visit. People wouldn't even take their food into their rooms, even if they were medical staff, because they just didn't want to deal with those people. And so, unfortunately, that did occur. And so, after Ricky passed away, we wanted to make things better. We wanted to open up communication about AIDS. And so, when Raylyn was dying in the hospital and begging us to take her home, we just finally said enough is enough. We can't have, all these needs assessments, all these consultants, all of these amounts of money that we're going out to say, hey, there is a need in Kern County. It was never going to be a tangible project. People just didn't want to get moving on it. And so we basically went out and we had a friend of mine by the name of Darren, who has a property management company, who I talked to about the project, and he said, I think I have a home that might be perfect for you. It needs a lot of work, but it might be what you're looking for. So I went to look at it. It's at 910 Grace Street, and as soon as I drove by it, I fell in love with it. It's a beautiful home, and it's we can have up to 6 clients at one time. We can have 6 residents there. It's 3 bathroom facility, and it's just a gorgeous place. And so we cleaned it up. People donated furniture, and within a period of a week, Raylyn was able to come and to live there. She was our very first hospice client, and she was there for a period of about a week and a half before she passed away.
Wow.
But the thing about it is that her children were able to be with her every single day. They could visit their mom, they could encourage her, they colored for her, they inspired her, and they were able to say goodbye to her.
That's awesome.
So, Ricky's retreat is instrumental in bringing dignity to the lives of people who should never be stripped of it anyway.
Yeah, and a lot of people have to go to a hospice because the hospitals turn them away in their end stages. Is that correct?
Right. The hospitals are there for the purpose of helping with things that can be treated, and at the end stages of AIDS, during those years when AIDS medications were so limited, basically it was a chronic illness, and they were not able to treat some of the things that were going on when they had 0 T cells. So basically it was just costing exorbitant amounts of money in the hospital, when really that bed needed to be for someone else who they could treat and release. And so hospice is a whole other area of need. And people were discriminated against, people were turned away, and our people had suffered a lot.
Yeah. Well, I know a whole bunch of people in Bakersfield who adore you. And who was it on the news that contacted you to?
Kiyoshi Tumon.
That's right. You were attacked here by someone, and a news anchor emailed you on Facebook, and was worried about you.
Yes.
So even the news anchors on the news here in Bakersfield care about you, and everybody that I know who have ever asked about you has told me that they just love you, and you are probably, if people know you, they love you.
Well, I love my community, and my community means a lot to me. Born and raised here in Bakersfield, belonging to many different communities. I love being able to help, of course, people with AIDS, because I lost my brother to AIDS. And we were never afraid of him. We've always loved him. I'd love to have him now. I wish that the medications that are available today would have been available for Ricky.
And you guys are doing the AIDS Walk on October 1st?
Yes, the AIDS Walk is Saturday, October 1st. It's a 3-mile walk. The first mile is in remembrance of people who have passed away, like Ricky, and also like Mario Garza, who recently passed away, and we're dedicating this walk to him. And then also for people who are living with AIDS, people like yourself who are amazing, and just so blessed to be able to have the medications that are available today and the treatment, and to be able to live and thrive with this disease. I'm very thankful for that. We want to show you that support by having the second mile in honor of people who are positive. And the third mile is for prevention, education and prevention. You know, all of us can be affected by AIDS, and it's important to prevent new infections. That means people need to know about it, people need to have tools for harm reduction, and people need to be supportive of people who are affected or living with the virus.
And there are doctors who are discriminating against people who are HIV negative who are asking for the new drug PrEP, which is a shame, because they're slut shaming the people who just want to have some kind of prevention.
Right, prevention is so important. You know, I think probably since the beginning of time, you know, we don't like to talk about sex. We pretty much act like we didn't get here by any sexual act. And we like to shame people because it just makes us feel better. The fact is that we need to get over it. We need to communicate about sex being part of everyone's life. We need to empower our youth to make informed decisions. We need to encourage them to access tools that are for harm reduction. Just like we use a seatbelt every time we get into a car, we should be using condoms, lube, any of the prevention tools, and especially PrEP, which is pre-exposure prophylactics. It's a one-day pill that people can take that will prevent them from getting the virus. Truvada is one, and it's put out by Gilead, but there are also others that are going to be coming out. So we need to really be able to have the right attitude about prevention and not shut down communication. Here in Kern County, we have some of the highest sexually transmitted infection rates.
And new infections every day.
And new infections every day. And new pregnancies.
And pregnant people, pregnant women who are infected during pregnancy and their babies are born with HIV.
Right. So we know, obviously, if people are getting pregnant, that people are having sex. So we need to get over shaming people and encourage them to talk about it, to negotiate safer sex, to be able to support one another or to get treatment. Treatment for any STI makes us all a healthier community. Healthy to talk about it, healthy to get treatment, and healthy to look to the future for our children and their children. So I'm a strong believer in PrEP. I'm a strong believer in the dignity and humanity of all, and in doing something with our experiences in life.
I'm going to stop. Well, I just wanted to thank you, Audrey, for this vlog. Actually, it's going to be on YouTube. It's not going to be on the news, sorry.
That's okay.
But this is for my blog, or vlog for YouTube, the Diary of a Gay Nerd. And I wanted to thank you for all that you do for this community, and all you will continue to do for this community, and the selfless acts that, you know, you're all about other people, helping other people, and I just hope that when you need help, people will be here for you. So I just wanted to thank you and tell you that we just love and adore you.
Thank you, and I love and adore each and every one of you. I want to encourage people to be supportive to our homeless, supportive to people with AIDS, supportive to our LGBTQ community, to our veterans, and to all people, because that makes a healthier, more beautiful humanity for everyone. So, thank you.
Thank you so much. So I'd like to thank Audrey Chavez for allowing me to come into her establishment and interview her for my vlog. I think she's an awesome human being, and if you ever get a chance to go to Martin's Meats and Deli in Bakersfield, their chicken is awesome. We brought some home and ate it, and it's always juicy. They make tri-tip and ribs, and I'm not much of a rib eater, but their ribs are good. So they're over in downtown Bakersfield, over on Q and 21st or 22nd, I don't remember. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and I will see you later.